In your opinion, what is the dumbest way to spend time? Story 1. I hate when I'm at work and I've finished all my tasks for the day or hit the quota, and my supervisor tells me to look busy. My boss literally told me the complete opposite. Make sure you have your phone charger or a book or something, otherwise the boredom will unalive you. And he was right. What do? Healthcare. Screening specifically. If my patients don't show up, not a lot else I can do. And a surprising amount don't show up. I used to work in screening and deal with the same thing for almost 2 years straight. When a patient wouldn't show up, I literally wouldn't have anything to do for a while. Moved to a different part of healthcare that keeps me a little busier, but I still have downtime. I'd rather be bored than burned out. I had a boss who thought I had no hustle. He couldn't get me on any metric. I had good ticket times. I'm a slow is smooth, smooth is fast type. You can stand in one spot when you have your mise en place. I noticed the cooks he liked the best were always in the weeds. They'd kind of spin in circles, loudly complain, you know the type. So I just started flapping my elbows. I'd wiggle my elbows around, grumble about tickets, and carry on doing my job. It worked. He thought I'd finally seen the light when really I was just doing my normal work plus elbow flaps. They don't want you to do more work. They just want you to literally look busy. It looks bad for them if upper management comes by and they're letting someone sit down, literally doing nothing. Just open some spreadsheets or whatever it is that you do. One thing I liked to do when working in an office was take a trip. Maybe to the printer, maybe to a different floor. I need to speak to June in accounting. Stockroom is a good one because they never have cameras and nobody knows what you've gone in there for. A manager walks in and you go, "Oh, there you are. There they are. I've been looking for ages." Grab a new pack of highlighters and scooch back to your desk. If you have any minor things wrong with your PC, don't get them fixed straight away. Wait until you've got nothing else to do, then call IT. "I can't work. I'm waiting for IT to bring me a new mouse." Never fix anything yourself, even if you know how. Get someone from another department or from maintenance to do it. Or a work buddy. "Hey, Daz, you finished your work too? Can you come look at this problem I've been having?" Daz: "Well, I can fix that for you, but it'll take until exactly on the dot of 5 p.m. Easiest way is to really think about how much time you spend on thinking about other people and their clothes, what quirky things they do that you keep remembering about, that one pimple someone who walked by had on their face, etc. Chances are you don't think about those things. And if you do, it will be a fleeting thought that's forgotten within a few minutes. That's how everyone lives their lives, not thinking about those things. People are inherently egotistical. If we don't spend time thinking about ourselves and how other people might perceive us, we think about people that we love. You need to keep reminding yourself that other people really aren't all that interested in the things you do or say, how you dress, or anything else. They're busy thinking about menial things, not about you. And sure, there will always be people who actually do keep track and keep score about how well they stack up against others, but those aren't the people you want to hang out with anyway. Just my 2 cents. Yeah, I used to hate that too. Just finished up my tasks. "Well, why don't you look busy?" "Why don't you give me more work?" "Yeah, that's what you were supposed to do. I'm here. I get paid either way, so I've already finished what you told me. I don't think the problem is on my end." Story 2. With a partner that doesn't care about you, and that starts a conversation with you, and forgets that you're there. Edit. OMG, thank you to those that gave me the awards. I sincerely appreciate you, and I cannot tell you all enough how much I love seeing so much support for each other and the advice and different perspectives you've all given me. I hope to see this continue so everyone's voices, needs, and ideas are heard. Sorry, as much as it sucks, leave it behind and move on. It's for the better, aside from little bumps here and there. It's only up from here. It really hits hard because I'm thinking about leaving my fiancé. We're supposed to marry in 1.5 months, but I don't know anymore. She's only picking on me and complaining about me and everything I do. Leaving her wouldn't be too hard, honestly, but everything that goes with it, moving, the pets. But I'm also pretty close with her parents, and she still has quite a debt that I'm not going to get, probably. Edit. I don't know if anyone will read the edit, but anyway. I'm leaving her today. Why? I was helping/working at a party and twisted my foot. She was there with colleagues. I called her to say first aid wanted me to go to the hospital to take x-ray pictures. She had some drinks, so I had my mother come pick me up to drive me there. 1 a.m. My fiancé came to me and told me not to be a little shrew. Something like that. I couldn't stand on my feet. A first aid man helped me on the way to the car. Halfway, she decided she would help me, support me. Suddenly, we got to the exit, and she literally pushed me. I managed to stay upright. She even picked a verbal fight with me where my brother had to calm us down. Once I was at the hospital, she kept texting me and calling me, but I didn't pick up, obviously. She kept saying if I didn't pick up, she'd end it, which obviously is fine by me because I'm going to end it anyway. By the way, I broke my foot. Yay! Sorry if there's bad English. It's not my native language, and I didn't sleep since 6:30 yesterday morning. It's 6:20 in the morning now. Don't make a hard choice now that becomes 100 torturous choices in the future. If you think her attitude is genuine and permanent and not just wedding-related stress, don't rush into it. Also, go talk to her and tell her how you feel. Whenever I talk to her now about how I feel about stuff, like for example the lack of intimacy the last couple months, she turns it into an argument where usually I should be the one to apologize. So yeah, that's not going to work, I guess. I talked about this with her mother, and she would understand me, but she would be sad about it. Pro tip. This doesn't get better after the wedding. You owe nothing to your fiancé or her mom. It's not your job to marry someone you don't think is right for you, so her mom doesn't have to feel upset. Her mom is an adult. She'll be fine. So will your fiancé. Take it from one who's been there, done that. And no, I didn't take my own advice, married the guy, and had to deal with an exponentially worse situation afterwards. I don't know if any of you have ever been in this situation, but yeah, being in a relationship where things just aren't going well and you just don't see any hope of it, it's just, unless you're talking about it, you either talk to your partner about it or you just end it if you don't see it going any further. Trying to stick with it without talking about it is just, nothing's going to happen because you're not doing anything. Story 3. Doing something you don't like in your leisure time. Frack all the other reasons. Let's be real. People enjoy browsing online, or they wouldn't be here. If you enjoy your time, it's not a waste. People are so melodramatic on this site and self-loathing. If it's really leisure time, I enjoy using online sites, but I think for a lot of us, this site represents what Tim Urban coined as the dark playground. We end up with a love-hate relationship with many activities we do while we procrastinate. It's often something we end up doing when we should be doing something else. I miss the wait, but why era of the internet. It seemed like online sites were more pro-science, pro-self-help, and just more interesting. I'd often see work from Tim Urban and such, and it was so valuable and frankly life-changing as a young college kid. Now it's all public freakout, facepalm, unalived by words, rage bait type of stuff. It's what the algorithm deems valuable because I guess rage and anger is addictive and gets online sites more clicks. This is a solid point. I remember when there were almost too many TEDx videos. At first I loved it, then I rolled my eyes at the "I am very smart" culture it produced. But now? Yeah, I kind of miss the blind optimism. Not to get too political, but the hope that Obama's campaign encapsulated was really the dose of optimism this world could really use. Then we dumped it down the drain. That's a great way to put it. There was a lot of hope in the air then. At least online, I felt the need to read, improve myself, exercise, and meditate, etc. Now, not so much discourse like that online. I will say the affairs of the world have dampened that hope. Inflation, cost of living, stagnant wages. Trump did a lot of damage. COVID did too. Hopefully things bounce back to the way it was. I'm not sure if it'll bounce back to the way it was. It's never going to be the same as what it was before, or never going to be exactly like that. It's a search now to find stuff that's really useful, that's a community that's really supportive and full of real people, and not just a bunch of AI-written stuff for fake internet points. Story 4. Spending time worrying about what other people think of you. I do that too much. Definitely need to figure out how to quit that smeg. It gets easier as you get older. Seriously. Getting off all this crazy old social media is the biggest key, to be honest. We weren't meant to be connected to every single person or know every second of people's lives. Nope. You also don't just stop caring about what people think about you. You stop caring about pretty much anything. Anytime someone hits me with some bad news anymore, I'm just like, whatever. It is what it is. Easiest way is to really think about how much time you spend on thinking about other people and their clothes, what quirky things they do. This is what I repeated from story 1 back up here. I guess that was tacked onto the other one. Let's see where it picks up down here. All right. It's kind of the one time nobody cares about you is a good thing. To add, stop wasting time worrying about things that are out of your control. Story 5. Sitting in traffic. Oh, amen to this one. That's why I stand during traffic. Amateur, I squat during traffic. Damn, you must have some nice buns by now. Yep, I stopped driving and started biking to work. Slashed my commute by half the time and got great exercise. Then some careless butthole in a car not paying attention hit me with their car and broke my leg and collarbone, so now I'm back to commuting in my metal prison. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Got into audiobooks. I'm powering through series after series these days. It's great and makes my drives a lot more enjoyable. Can't stress this enough. 90 minutes one way, even on New York City public transportation, can test you. Thank you, Libby. Free local library app and Audible. Used to drive 2.5 hours to work, but only had to work 2 or 3 days a week and for 4 hours. Now I work almost 6 days a week with only like 25 to 32 hours, but it's only 1 mile away. Still debating which was better, working only 2 or 3 days a week or not having to drive so far. I get paid less closer to home, but less expenses and vehicle maintenance in the long run. So I might actually make more now, but I lost that extra free time I got. Can't decide which was better. I did enjoy working at the last job, though. That's a tough one. I'd probably take the shorter week. A full day off always feels better and more productive than a half day, in my opinion. Story 6. Complaining about how boring your life is and knowing that you need to get stuff done. But then you think that while also scrolling on your phone for hours. A loop that's pretty hard to get out of. Some days I have so much to do I don't know where to start and end up getting almost nothing done. Yep, and the guilt felt after a totally unproductive day is extremely punishing. Gee, I wish I was a man of action or something. Oh, I realize I have other stuff to do right now, so pretty ironic. I'm stuck in this right now. I don't have anything important to do. I'm just stuck going to work, then going to my room. Work, room, work, room. When I'm at work, I feel great and productive and useful. As soon as I clock off, I get this heavy, empty feeling, and I just go home. I can't get myself to exercise or go anywhere fun. I have 1 or 2 friends that are the same way, and we also don't drink, so there's no bar hopping. The world seems so huge and so empty at the same time. I know there's a ton of stuff out there. I just feel like I don't belong in any of it. So I just watch stuff on YouTube and try not to think about how I'm just wasting my life. I think that comment misses the nature of boredom. Boredom isn't having nothing to do. It's not having the energy to do it. It also conflates stuff to get done with not having a boring life. Someone can have lots to get done, laundry, bills, wash the dishes, and do those things, and still have a boring life. I agree that complaining about things doesn't help yourself. I disagree that the answer to boring is just getting stuff done. For me, there's always the problem of motivation. I do have other projects of my own that I want to get done. Part of me feels like after I'm done with my work, I won't have enough time to get as much done on my personal projects as I'd like, and I'm sort of stuck looking at YouTube clips and everything, just kind of frozen in time, trying to think about some way to find some time to actually get enough work done where I'd feel satisfied with it. So I kind of paralyze myself. Story 7. Getting so drunk that you don't even remember the night before and feeling sick the whole next day. When I was 25, I worked for a company that had a culture of going out after work on Friday nights. The company would come around with a drinks trolley at 4 p.m. on Fridays. It was fracking terrible. We'd all end up maggoted by 9 p.m. on Friday night, and then the entire weekend would be written off in recovery. Ruined my health and sanity. I stopped partaking in the free drinks. The free drinks. Hey, just so I know what companies I should not work at and avoid for further interviews, what's the name of the company? What's the name of the company country? Denmark. I was born with a Texas redneck keyboard. I have a vast and extensive knowledge of the Danish language. 5, maybe 6 words. I was just showing off for internet points. Well, I'm glad to hear that our language is studied even as far away as in Texas. Next time, you can maybe shoot a hole above the A.
Please like and subscribe if you made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the video and have a wonderful day.
Story 8. Worrying. I wish it was easier to stop doing this. One of the ways that stupid people are able to appear confident is by just not functioning enough to worry or get paranoid, etc. It's difficult to stop paying attention if you're smart. One thing you can do is think more in your head in a sort of daydreaming kind of way. That way you're not thinking about what's actually happening and won't worry or stress as much. Some people refer to it as going to your happy place. There's actually a great episode of Malcolm in the Middle of this exact thing. Malcolm is dating a dumb girl and his stupid brother gives him advice on how to stop thinking. Story 9. Debating with others. Mostly people aren't willing to see another person's point of view. Debating someone is an opportunity to understand their views if you're an open-minded and curious person. Whether or not that person benefits from debating with you is only a secondary benefit. Debating is worth it, not just because of the rare occasion where the other person listens, but also because other people will see or hear the debate, and they're much more likely to be persuaded. Also, if you're debating something that affects people, those affected could see/hear you supporting them, and that's enough for me. Story 10. Spending time with people I have nothing in common with or don't share beliefs with. Maybe I'm just too much of an introvert, but I hate spending effort on small talk with people just to fill the silence. Yeah, sure, we could dig to find a kernel of what we relate on, but it's seriously not worth it, and the journey there is absolutely painstaking. There are so many people in the world, and I could socialize with any of them, so I'd rather it be with people I like. I don't want to get sucked into some sort of friendship that I really don't want at all. Socializing is a dance that's beautiful and fun when done with people you love, but like being a puppet on strings with people you don't care for. Story 11. Spending time staring, literally staring straight at your phone or other electronic devices when you're near your friends, on a car, bus, or other things, instead of talking to them. The worst one could be on a date. You literally can stare at your phone at home. Why be bothered to go hang out with someone or with people and stare at your phone when you can just simply be at the comfort of your house and stare at your phone? Coming from my experience with friends, dates, other people who did this, I also did it, but only because we're playing games together. Story 12. Yesterday, I got sucked into watching casino streamers all evening. What's dumb is deciding that anything you or anyone else does is a waste of time. If you need to relax but watch dumb stuff for a few hours, then you do that. Yeah, there's always a lot of judgmental buttholes in these threads. If you enjoy it and it doesn't hurt anybody, who the hell cares? Story 13. Easily and chronically online spaces that pollute your mind with ignorant and bigoted ideologies, i.e. 4chan, certain Discord servers, and other niche hate-filled spaces. You will literally become a decrepit, fascist, antisocial loser who thinks everyone is against them, and it makes it incredibly hard to break away from it. Your head will constantly be filled with hate, and it will eat away at your mentality so long as you stay in these niche circles. I know. I used to be part of it, and now that I'm free of it, I feel so much better mentally and just as a human. Story 14. I will never call any way people like to enjoy their time dumb. It doesn't matter how weird or unappealing their hobby may be, I will never look down on someone for enjoying it. It's never a waste of time to relax or enjoy something. That is why I believe the dumbest way to spend time is hating these people. It's become a full-time job for some folks to just dump on everything everyone loves, or anything that said person slightly disagrees with. Story 15. Laying in bed stuck on social media. Being depressed or sad and sitting in those draining thoughts. Not getting out of bed when you have things that need to be accomplished. Actually regretting the time you've aimlessly spent on social media. It's not great, but it's not the worst time. You spending time in your house just relaxing, not spending money, not making any is a capitalist's nightmare. But it should be celebrated, not regretted. Story 16. Going on vacation and then wasting time at the hotel. Vacation should be whatever you want it to be. If you want to book an escape and chill in your room looking out at the ocean the whole time, I don't see what's so wrong with that. I totally agree. My partner and I both have stressful jobs where we have to be up at 6 a.m. First day of our vacation earlier this year, we stayed in our room, slept until the afternoon, and then ordered room service. It was absolute heaven. Story 17. This thread is extremely judgmental. The only real dumb thing is doing something you don't enjoy doing. If a person enjoys doing any of the things that are mentioned in the answers here, then it's not a dumb way for them to spend their time. P.S. Number 2 is doing non-essential things you can't afford if it puts you in real financial trouble. Story 18. Watching people play video games. How mind-numbingly boring. And getting blackout drunk. Peeing away your money for what? Times you don't remember? Times you damaged your body and came close to perishing by alcohol poisoning? Time you inched ever closer to alcoholism? Story 19. Working your life away so you can afford to stay alive to work more. But what if my goal in life is to survive long enough to perish? Task failed successfully. Boy, do I have good news for you. Story 20. Doom scrolling. Upvotes. Continues doom scrolling. Upvotes. Awards meaningless internet points. Continues doom scrolling. Story 21. Trying to be a good employee even though your supervisor was rarely ever there busying himself with other things. This was years ago at Attempt to Hire job. Literally, the only critique I got was that I was slow, even though I thought I was fast enough with counting mail, but okay. Story 22. Working off the clock. Wait, y'all do that? I only do it if I just got off and they ask me to get something from the back or to put an order through, both of which takes less than a minute. Story 23. Prison. Name checks out.
Please leave your story in the comments. I would love to make a video on them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.